Hello, this is Travis Butterfield, and I'm going to just show you a quick way to optimize images, crop them, and resize them for the web. This is really important for uploading especially large images to a website so that it doesn't bog down the server and the browser and have a really slow load time. So you can see my page is open right now to this is the Public Service College homepage, and this image here is called a hero image. I have another video about doing hero images, but I made that video with Photoshop, and I was given some feedback that not a lot of people have Photoshop. So I'm going to show you a couple of tools that I really like that are available online that anyone can use. So we've got a hero image here, and I've also got what's called a title banner image here. So they're very similar, except obviously the title banner is not as tall. The hero image, you don't need to memorize this because it actually, if you clicked on customize this page and went into the dialog, it would show you what size you need. That's not always the case for every image you'll do, but for hero images and title banners, it tells you the size you want. So we're going to do the size that we want, and I'm going to upload an image to a tool that I really like. It's called Optimizilla. They just renamed their URL to imagecompressor.com. It used to be Optimizilla, but anyway, so imagecompressor.com is a great one. So what I'm going to do, you have to be careful because there's ads on here that look like buttons to start, but they're actually just ads. So ignore these start now buttons. What we want to do is click upload files. So I'm going to upload this picture here that I've pre-selected. It's a large picture that I got from iStock. So I'm uploading that. It's 13.7 megabytes, which is a very large file. Just to give you an idea of how big this picture is, I'll show you. So if we view this image, and if I click on view actual size, you can see it's a very large image. You can't see all of it. So this obviously needs to be resized, and actually this is a good image to use because it's large. We don't want to use smaller, or we don't want our images to be too small when we start. We want them at least as big as the size that we're using. So this is the image. It's about 14 megabytes of file size. That's huge. And this tool has compressed it down to less than 1 megabyte. It's 934 kilobytes. It's compressed it by 93%. So that's awesome. So I'm going to click download. I'm going to save this file. It's a minimized PNG. We started out, oh no, it's a minimized JPEG. Let me see this. Yeah, okay, so it's just saving it the same file type. I usually use PNGs because I like them better, but this is doing a JPEG, and that's fine. This does both JPEGs and PNGs. So now I've got my minimized one right here. And if we look at it and zoom in, you can't tell a difference, but it's much more friendly to be viewed on the browser, but it still needs to be cropped and resized. So I'm going to go back to my browser, and I'm done with this, so I can close this, and now I want to go to another tool that I like. It's called resizingimage.net. So I'm going to upload the image that I just optimized. So that will be this one. So it's uploaded, and now it's going to show me a preview. So here's a preview of it. What I want to use is a fixed aspect ratio. And I know the size that this needs to be because I already know it, but you can look it up in the hero image video. It's 1170 pixels wide by 380 pixels tall. So I'm going to click that. And then I'm just going to select in the image and see how it's selecting my aspect ratio for me. That's really nice. So the important thing is we want to have our most important content in the center of the image, because these images, after they get placed on the web, can be cropped by the browser based on screen width, and I'll explain that a little more later. I just clicked out of this, so I'm going to do it again. We want to get the full width. So this is pretty good. We can move it a little, I'd say right about there. So then I'm going to click crop, and just like that, we've cropped that image, but it still is really big. It's 6048 by 1963, but we want it to be 1170 by 380. So this is the resize section. And for some reason, it won't let me do 1170. Okay, if I uncheck this box, then it'll do it. So now I'm resizing it to be 1170 by 380. We can choose our output, whether we want a JPEG or PNG. I wouldn't recommend a GIF or a BMP. These are kind of old and not very good. I prefer PNG files personally. I think they're a higher quality. Because JPEGs leave what are called artifacts that end up looking like pixelated blobs. So I'm going to output this as a PNG, and then I'm just going to keep the optimization as default compression, because we've already really optimized this image. So this doesn't do that great of an optimization. Optimizilla is a much better tool for that. So I'm just going to click resize image, and you can see now that it's 591.3 kilobytes. That's not a bad size at all. So I'm going to hit download, hit save, and I'm going to rename this resized cropped so that I can find it. And now if I go to my desktop where I saved it, there's my image. And that's as easy as it is. So that's how you do a hero image. For a title banner, it's the same process, except title banners are only 200 pixels high instead of 380. That's the only difference. So hopefully this helps so that you can upload images that are lean, so that they don't require a lot of resources for your browser to download them, because people get frustrated if images are large file sizes and it takes a long time to download it, especially on mobile devices. So I was mentioning that you want the most important content in the middle. This picture, this hero image doesn't follow that as well as I would like it to, actually, but if we were to resize this, I'm going to show what it would look like on mobile. So now you can see that actually the most important stuff was in the middle, because her arms got totally cropped off on desktop view. But that's the nice thing about cropping these correctly when we upload them, is they're going to get resized by the browser based on the width of the screen. So if I go again, if I get out of this responsive view and go back, so here we can see she's still raising her arms, but it cuts off at her head, and that's because there's a JavaScript that renders the image based on screen width so that it's optimized. You don't need to know a lot of that except for just keep your most important stuff in the center when you crop your images so that it doesn't get cropped out by the browser. And that should do it. Hopefully that helps. Thanks for watching.